I pledge allegiance to the flag of the
United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
They didn't put indivisible in until after 1860.
Trustee Polly. Trustee Polly.
There.
Trustee Lappin.
Here.
Clerk Palovich here. Treasurer Ellery Summers.
Here.
Trustee Kroll,
Here.
Trustee Reiner.
Here.
Supervisor Kozibowski.
Here, can you turn your mic on?
Not easy being green.
Just hold it. There you go.
That was a good one.
It's where they resurrect these things from.
I'll make that motion to adopt the agenda.
Aye.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, the same. Motion carried. This is the first opportunity for public comment. Seeing nobody online and nobody in person. Comment is closed. Moving on to the purpose of the meeting. Hopefully our last budget workshop.
Page 17.
Thanks.
Are you doing 16, 17?
Yeah.
We're good with revenues.
Oh, I guess, I'm sorry.
16?
16 is revenues.
Going straight to. Water. I take it? Water.
16.
That's where it's at.
The
Sorry.
only thing in the revenue that has
Sure,
changed
that's
since
fine.
our last meeting. We made the adjustments with the 10% and 3% increase,
That was to increase the rates, right?
right, to increase water and sewer rates, 10 and 3.
And how did we come out?
There, it's in here. As our.
It's gonna be,
within the Guesstimate that we could get,
Was it 10 for water?
10 for water, 3 for sewer. As recommended by our rate specialist.
and did you talk to her since our last meeting? I think you were gonna ask her, because I think we were trying to make up a bigger difference, and so we were talking about a larger rate increase possibly.
I did not talk to her about that, but I have I guess, presentation that she did for us. Showing that we would do the 10%, so the suggested. Increase that she had was over a 5-year span, it would be a 10%, 10%, 10%, and then 5% for water, and then 3% across the board for sewer. So, and we could. One of the other options that we have is to increase the sewer, but the issue with that is that we're doing what we're doing now, so subsidizing the water, which we're trying to get doing.
Right.
So that's why we're not gonna do that. And then the other issue with increasing the water rates too high is that then you see other chance of having a challenge, and that would be a bad time for everybody.
So if that, can you just explain that a little bit? If it's challenged, what does that mean exactly? Like a company could challenge it?
Yeah, if you want to, no, you could challenge it and say that it was unfair increase. and
Like
then-
a company that would do that?
There are people that go
There's-
around challenging rates
Okay,
if you do too high of an increase.
and then if. How does that proceed then? If-
Then we'd end up having legal representation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it would be a bad.
Yeah,
And
But-
for everybody.
Somebody that challenges the rates, that's their cost and choice to challenge our rates. We don't have to pay for that.
Still gotta defend it.
Yeah, we would have. to
there are
defend it.
groups that do this though, that raise money and go around and challenge rate.
That's what I mean, they would have to bring.
But we
it
would
us.
still have to
would
defend
protect
ourselves.
Well, yes, I understand that, but, we don't have to prove, we have to defend ourselves, yes.
Michelle, do you know if,
How often have you heard of that?
It was something that the rate specialists brought up, which is,
And told us to be
Yeah.
concerned about.
yeah,
If we go, is why she suggested 10%. And not jumping to 20 or 30%.
So it leaves us short how much? 3,
$178,400. Michelle, did anybody from Eric's office or the,
I reached out to Eric and he is going to get me that figure.
oh, okay.
So then we
Okay.
will start paying the correct. Do it right.
And it may reflect a benefit in our budget.
So basically what you figured here, based on what I'm looking, is using a fund balance of 278,000. Using that to balance the budget.
What did you say? Russ?
Or the option of going into the fiscal year knowing that we're operating in the red.
I don't think we can do that.
What about us not needing for our auditors that we don't have to have a water budget approved? Didn't they say that we don't have
It's
to?
not required by law to have a budget for the water.
For the
sewer.
enterprise fund, right? But we would still want to have
It's-
one for internal use, of course.
Best practices, you'd have
Right.
one.
Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
We're just not gonna budget this year.
I'm open to any suggestions if anyone has better.
What we doing is a 3.8 million in the escrow account.
It's not 3.8 million,
Don't look at it that way.
it's 2.3.
But anyway.
But no, we still, if you look at page 18. With the $278,400 shortfall. Removing that, taking that out of the fund balance of $6,482,668. We end up with still a fund balance of $6,204,268. So we're still holding to a roughly $6 million fund balance. Is that my understanding? Madam Supervisor?
That's my understanding.
Yes,
And we've already chopped. Mr. Lappin, we've already chopped
Legal.
legal and
Yeah.
something else, didn't we? As much.
Yeah,
as
We
could.
took down, we
We
took
took
down,
out legal and we reduced water sales and sewage sales by 50,000 each. Or roughly.
yeah, we didn't
sorry.
affect any other legal or professional contractual costs. We only reduced legal.
Right, but we still kept some legal. I-
Oh,
quite
yeah,
a bit of
we still
legal.
have, we
Yeah.
still have $250,000 in legal.
Yeah,
What I reduced, if you look up on the screen or on yours, is the sewer purchase and the water purchase. I reduced the sewer purchase from 570,000 to 520,000. And then water from 1.15 to 1.1.
is there a way within the system to then from April 1 on, give us a monthly plus or minus? I've seen that before in budgets, but in other words, on a monthly basis for each line item, are we over or under? The column for that?
Laura sends it to you guys every month.
Okay, I want to keep getting it.
Okay.
So, I just have a quick question, so I understand the logic behind reducing the sewer and water purchases. Is that under the guise that our rate is gonna be adjusted? Wow, how is it?
I thought that
Why
came
did-
from you, actually.
No, I don't think it came from me.
No,
I think it came from looking at what we've spent so far this year.
since the settlement.
Well, I guess that makes sense. Yeah, cause I do believe if we ever get this suit settled, that those numbers will come down because they will be adjusted to wholesale, which will theoretically reduce that number, but
Are you talking about the expense, water and sewer?
yes,
We are already paying what we think is a wholesale rate.
that's 61.
It's whatever
Yeah.
Bill Fahey told us to pay.
That was before.
Oh,
No, so I
you think it's gonna go down more?
Yes.
Oh,
So we've been paying at 61 and we think that.
Well,
What
we've
was
been
the
paying at
settlement?
61% of, that formula that Fahey had worked out in 2019, I think it was. And so since that time, the court has deemed that the sewer rates were reasonable, but not the water rates. And so, but also, the court had also established that we are wholesale customers.
So we agreed on 4 years at the settlement. Was that, at what percentage of usage was that?
Well, I don't think that's been established. The 23% on the water,
So we
excuse
still
me, on
have-
the sewer.
Oh, I thought we settled on a number.
No, we settled on a dollar amount. At that particular point in time, it didn't seem, at least to me, it didn't seem, since we were talking about the past, why are we worrying about percentage of use? Let's just deal with the dollar amount.
Of course, we're gonna be
Get that
dealing
off.
with the past 18, 19, 20, 30.
We're still gonna be dealing with the past, but this go around, we probably have to be a little bit more specific about what the water usage rate is then and moving forward.
And you think because we came up with a dollar amount is why we were really able to come to an agreement, otherwise we probably still wouldn't have, if it would have been based on a percentage, right?
Well, yeah, I think that everybody just sort of. To me, it started out as a percentage and then a dollar amount. And I thought, well, why are we dealing with a percentage when this is all years past? And why don't we just clean the books with a dollar amount? And so that's what you did. But this coming up will be probably a lot more specific,
Do we know when that will start back up again or not? Yeah.
hoping the 17th of March.
Well, that state that I was.
Anything go for it.
Spring break and nobody's gonna be around.
So back to my question. What is the number that we have in the escrow account?
What we have about, $2,358,101.21.
Ish.
Well,
Yeah,
right, there's some
'cause now-
interest, yeah, because we probably earned some interest on that.
Right.
But that's included in this fund balance, right? Or is it over
Correct.
and above?
That is in the fund balance.
So. Whether we take it out of there or we take it out of the fund balance and
They're all the same.
It's the same thing.
that's what I mean, we're taking it out of it.
I think he was asking about how much the total fund balance is, but maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, 'cause
That's
my-
6 million.
My sheet is dated January 22nd, so. My fund or my balance on that account shows 3819.
I'm not sure what,
Laura,
What do you mean 3819? What does that mean?
$3,819,000 is the Nicolay escrow account.
That was everything excluding the $500,000 that we put into another fund.
but that's amount, that, what you're looking at is a report that tells you how much is in each account. It's not the fund balance.
Correct, but I'm saying that what's in that account is still an escrow account, or we're calling it the escrow account, which is part of the water department, correct?
There's only a little over $500,000 in the escrow account right now.
I know where he's asking, basically what he's
I think
saying,
you're talking to
excluding, taking that $500,000 out, which we agreed to put back into a quote unquote escrow. The balance remaining is somewhere around 2.2 million.
2.358.
Right.
Okay. But
And the
that's,
majority of that is invested to earn interest.
I understand, but
Okay.
that's in that escrow account yet
Right.
that I see here.
No, it's in a separate,
So this is old stuff.
that's old stuff.
Okay, so, and you said right now that account has 2,358 in it, 2,358,000.
Approximately, without interest. There is a little more
Yeah,
interest.
okay, I'm just saying round numbers. I'm trying to get a handle on. So if you take this, I'm still gonna call it the escrow account, because that's what it says here. I don't know where
But it's not in that account anymore. It's
you
in a,
moved it.
it's moved into an investment account.
Right.
That Laura you created it?
Right, I had to create it.
But that investment account, is that for the township or for the water department?
For the water department.
Okay, so that's still with the water department.
Right.
Yeah, it has to stay with the
Right,
water
right.
department.
Okay, right, so if whether we take the money out of there or we take it out of the fund balance, which is part of the fund balance, we're basically, doesn't make any difference where we take it from.
No, 'cause
The fund balance
it's
doesn't
not all
have
the
a
same
GL,
thing.
Pardon?
a specific general ledger number for the fund balance.
The fund balance isn't all cash. Right.
But it's not designated on a specific line item saying this is the amount of fund balance in this general ledger number.
So, yeah, I understand where you're saying, where you're coming from, but so.
It's gonna
this-
come out of that 2.358.
Right.
Which is in the fund balance.
Correct.
So the rest of the fund balance is hard assets?
Part of it is assets, yes.
Yeah, it's not all cash.
It's not all cash, it's all the pipes and stuff and the walk
Yep,
and
okay.
lift stations and all that, the assets too.
So when I talk about 600 or $6 million,
It's all not liquid that we
Yeah.
can get turned into
Well,
cash real quick.
no,
From a liquidity standpoint, it's probably in total, what, maybe half of that?
$3 million.
Probably.
Yeah.
We spent that.
We don't really know, because we don't really know what's, we have as assets in that.
Yeah, but I mean, just again, round
We're
numbers.
working on it, right? That was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We had a piggy bank going. We still have a piggy bank going in excess, in addition to that $2.3 million. So it's.
Not
right?
much,
I know it's not much, but
What's his piggy
but
bank?
that's why-
considered?
that little bit that's in that one called provisional, I think.
Yeah, there's a little bit in there.
yeah, anyway,
Right.
we're cash rich at about $3 million.
Will you be printing a new one of these for?
I can print you one right now. How's that?
No, it
Would,
doesn't be
would
right.
that help?
No,
Cause I'll do it for you.
no, I know where you're at. I know where you're coming. I just
Okay,
want to get clear in my head what you're,
okay.
where it's at. Yeah.
We
We're
don't
gonna
want
take that money out and balance this budget, but we still need the price increases.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
We're just gonna, if we do that, we're only balancing the water and sewer portion of our budget.
For next year.
Correct. We still have the,
I don't think we wanna touch it.
we still have a negative.
So by doing this, we're going to cover the increases, plus we're gonna ask for an increase, so we're almost getting a double hit for this year.
I guess I'm not sure what you mean by double hit.
Well, we're putting this back into the water budget coming out of fund balance. And then we're also having a price increase all going in the same year. So we should be ending up this coming year with considerable extra dollars.
No.
No, we're just gonna break even.
Yeah, at best we'll break even.
We're even gonna break even it's the
Yeah, we're
amount
still-
of the
we're
revenue
still-
we're gonna get is not gonna be $280,000.
Right.
So
Right.
to break even, we have to take money from the fund balance to cover all the expenses.
You've already figured that into this budget, the extra income.
Yes.
Yes,
Right.
yes.
So we're still short 280,000.
Yes, and
270,
the
yeah.
projection that the rate special gave us showed that we would spend the first two to
I think
3
on the third
years.
year we break
Yeah.
even.
So this year, this coming year and the next year, we would be in the red, the third year we break even, and then the fourth and fifth year we start to see some.
That was from that presentation.
That was from the
Yeah.
presentation that Dawn did for us.
Which means we're looking at about, out of that money. Probably gonna be funding our next two budgets with about $500,000. $400,000 to $500,000 out of this year, and next year.
And right, that's still not doing any capital
not-
improvements in the
That's
water.
not putting
fund.
any capital improvements in, which I don't know when the Tower of South Tower is gonna have to be redone, but I don't know what year we're in, but I think it has to be done every 10 years.
Right.
Every 10 years, yeah.
I think one of those is due next year.
Yeah, next.
Next year,
I think so.
and there's not gonna be any ARPA money to do it with. So
What
guess
is the communications equipment, 13,000, what is that for? Do we need it that high?
Yes, that's it, SCADA, SCUDA.
What do they do? What do they?
It monitors all the equipment. If there's a problem, they send out alarms and.
Oh,
So
so
that
that's
monitors it at
probably
the site,
money-
like
Yeah.
at the towers and. at
probably
the
money well
station.
spent
Oh,
versus
yeah.
having a problem.
Yes.
We could have very expensive repairs if we didn't have that. So it just costs money.
You know, I would like to also point out, if we can clear this, litigation, we're almost guaranteed to put a couple $100,000 into the kitty.
From the legal, yeah.
Right.
So what do
So-
we need? 250, I mean, maybe we need to start picking at these numbers a little bit, like data processing, 2,500. What is that for? Is that just in case we need software? And what
Well,
we
don't
need,
they have BSNA?
right, but how much is there? I mean, that's probably their portion.
Yeah, that's.
Dues
right.
and membership, 6,000. What do we need that for?
Remember,
That's
we're
the
a member
water
of AMA.
association.
We're a member of those two organizations.
What if
AMA.
we weren't just like MTA? What if we
That's Kat's last meeting or 2 meetings ago, so.
need to
Here's
stay?
the-
We need to
and
stay.
It's, yes.
I just don't know where else you.
I know, that's
Yeah.
what I'm just, oh, just out of curiosity. And I know it maybe doesn't have so much to do with the budget, but I've seen people working at our water tower by Huntington Bank last week, like 3 different days. Do you know what we're having done to our water tower?
You know.
On
at
32.
They usually call,
That's the water department.
they usually call for a 24-hour permit if they need to.
But there's
sometimes it'll be
been
like
3
Verizon
different
or-
days and it's been freezing. Yeah, it could be one of the tower people.
Yeah, it could be them. They call for various reasons.
Okay. I was
Did
just
you
curious.
ask for a visa or anything?
No. No, but I just was curious because we don't usually see a lot of activity going on at the water tower.
They call and get a 24-hour notice permit for various reasons, and then we have the water department let them in and. So they can. do
I kind of
whatever they
wondered
need
if
to
it
do
was
with
one of
their
those
different- yeah.
situations.
Yeah.
Um. I mean, maintenance and repair on building. I mean, some of this stuff we don't even know. Maintenance on system.
Kind of went through all this and got it pared down, I think, to as much as we can, and we're still 200. It's gonna be a, no matter how much more we cut any of those line items, we're still gonna be a long ways. No, not even close. Yeah.
We're not gonna find that money somewhere in here.
I would like to know if there's any professional and contractual out of that F and V contract, what areas are, could there be cuts? There could be discussions about things that maybe they offer that we just don't need. I don't know. I haven't delved into that enough to see whether or not there's any way to piecemeal some of that out, or if it would even be, would we be having unintended consequences if we did something that's gonna end up costing us more money later? I don't know.
Actually, what I'm more concerned about for this year, although we've got maybe insulation from the snow as opposed to, but as cold as it's been, I'm more worried about the maintenance budget going over
Mhm.
for this year because of the weather.
Yeah, that's a
conditions we've been
different,
dealing with.
isn't that a separate line item though?
Well, it's a separate report we
250.
get every month. you
It's
know, that-
maintenance on system.
Yeah, that's at 300,000. So we kept that a little bit
We increased
within the
that.
normal range, but you're right. Hopefully this enough snow will blanket the earth a little bit to keep it a little warmer.
Yeah. But some of those problems come in roadways where
Taking it out.
the
of
traffic
there.
drives the spot steep.
You're right, you're right.
The ones that are now invested. Out of the 2.358.
That's their only option.
I think our
I
only,
think it's our only option.
take it out of the 2.3 million, take that out of there and balance.
Don't like it.
All
Don't
right,
see
we'll
any
take
better
this on.
solution.
I'll take one of these today before I go home. We don't
Okay,
have to-
sure.
I'll make that motion. Or, did you just make the motion?
We're not making, we can't make motions, can I?
Not in,
Sure.
not in the workshop. We
Okay.
have to do it. But what if we did that just to balance and then,
I would need to put one of those lines, budgeted use of fund balance, like we're doing for the public safety. On our final. budget.
add the GL on here?
No, there's no
Or-
GL.
Or, I'm sorry.
We have to just add the statement for Chelsea.
Oh,
Budgeted
I
use
see.
of fund balance,
Oh,
to show why we are in a
Show that
negative.
in a revenue area or something.
No, it's just a note on the end of the budget. To
So
show
this-
why we're at a negative.
Because we were also gonna put another note in the fire department.
Yeah, the
Exactly.
same note.
Same note.
Same
Okay, but we know we have to balance the fire department. We know that we have to have a balanced budget with the possible exception of the water and sewer department, right?
We do not have to have a balanced budget as long as we have money in the fund balance and we know that we're taking money from the fund balance.
Okay, I guess
Do you want to see Chelsea's email?
no, but I guess I thought you said that. Are we gonna transfer money to the water department, or are we just gonna know that it's there?
It is already in the water fund. It's just in their savings.
Right,
So it's
okay.
revenue that's been recorded in previous years.
So we're not necessarily going to go to that investment that we have and actually take $278,000 out of it and put it. We're just going to leave it in a fund balance, knowing that.
It's
it's
there if
there
we
in the-
need, if we
in
have
the
a
event that
cash,
all
if we
right,
fall short on cash and need it, we
All
can
right.
transfer.
And do we have to state the amount? And that,
It's
It's in-
pretty much stated because it's showing on your budget.
okay, so I mean, it would show, basically reflect that.
No, it's not gonna reflect that. It's just gonna be a statement here. So you
Saying
know
that-
why this is in the red and not in the
Right.
black. It's not gonna say in it exactly.
But that we have money to cover that.
That it's in the fund
Maybe.
balance.
Yeah, we all chipped in.
I think that, I don't know what else we can do.
75 feet, 70.
Yeah, I'll just write my check right now.
and that's
Checks in the mail.
effectively the same thing we're going to do in the public safety fund,
Correct.
out of notes.
So will we not be in the
Mm.
water fund? Or the sort of safety fund? Is that
No.
right? We were- How much were we off in that?
58,000.
The same as when we.
Oh, yeah, gotcha. Okay.
If you were like 10,
So it's just not as bad as a water.
Right.
already, but I can't have. True enough.
And he wants, he could be his buddy.
Yeah, see how it goes.
Or by the sheriff's department.
So you could do him any favors, right, Cash?
Huh?
So you could do him any favors.
So is there any need to carry on here or what? We can't make a motion, we can't do anything, we're just gonna do that, right?
I don't.
So how do we show agreement?
Is
that
there
we, as a
specific
board-
language that?
We show agreement,
that the
we'll vote
CPA
on it.
When
Do you
we
want
vote
to
on
fill
budgets.
this to? You said specific language?
No, let me finish is there a specific motion or a comment or language that we have to use to satisfy the CPA as to why we're making notes on a financial statement?
Her suggestion is for the public safety's fund balance, use of fund balance. Governments include a line on the budget named something like budgeted use of fund balance.
Okay, so we do have to put something somewhere.
We just have to, yeah,
Yeah,
have a note.
yeah, this is, but she almost sounded like a line item.
Yeah,
Well,
I
no, it's-
interpreted it more like
It's
a
just,
revenue line item from fund balance, but
no, it's just
we'll see.
at the bottom. I mean, I talked to her.
Huh. Okay,
you sure?
how would the general public know that?
Exactly. That's why I thought it, I'm not,
I'm
I'm not an
I
expert
don't-
in these things.
because if the general public were to ask for a copy of the budget, they're gonna see that in theory that we've approved a unbalanced budget.
But they're really balanced though, because that fund's
It's
available.
gonna be on there for everybody to see, isn't it?
It's gonna be, yeah, when Haley posts this on the website, these notes will be on here along with that truth and taxation thing that we have to put on the budget too.
All right, so there will be, this will be, okay, all right,
It'll
so
be visible.
there will be some
I will make
comment.
sure that she has the comment very
Okay.
well, so it's not hidden.
And
that
it will
people
be a
should-
comment, basically two notes then, one in the.
There'll be
safety.
one at the end of the water,
Yep.
and there'll be
public
one at the end of
safety.
public safety, and then on the very last page of the total budget is the truth and taxation statement that Tim
Okay,
makes
okay.
us put on the budget
Okay.
every year.
All right,
Right. The fact that you've used it twice now, that she said a line, so that, yeah, I'd just like to confirm with her before we do the final vote that the note as opposed to a line item is what she's talking.
didn't you specifically say a line item?
No, it's just a line.
Oh. Then I.
She's not
Oh,
saying a GL.
I would have called that a note,
You can put a
Instead of
a
saying no,
note,
she
like
said
a
line.
note on
Right.
the audit.
Yes,
Yeah, but
yes. Which I think is probably exactly what will show up on our audited financial statement, is that there will be a note somewhere in that financial statement, right?
Right.
In
that's
theory,
what threw me off is when you said a line, that she said a line, so that made me think line
Instead of
item.
no.
so what we're doing is we're taking money out of the savings account of the water department and putting it into the system. And we're taking money out of the savings
Not
part
really.
of the fire department. Now it's like a savings account, well, maybe not call it that, but that's money that's been saved,
Right.
okay? Take it out, put it,
But we only
Right.
move it out of the savings
If
if we need
If you
to.
need it, right?
correct.
Are we good?
I think we're good.
I'm
I've
good.
asked this before, but on the stuff that's in the ground, that's part of the $6 million, it's not cash. Do we depreciate that? Do we put a depreciation number on that every year in the budget?
Speaking of that, we
The
There's-
auditors do, yeah.
There is depreciation on the last page, I believe. So
Yeah.
saw that. 250,000, page
What's the line item?
18 to 20.
592537968.
But until we get an inventory done of all that. this is all
We've been dealing with that
Oh.
since I've been on the board.
Yeah.
Before me.
Yeah, me-
Michelle's
yeah.
reached out again, looking to see if we can get somebody to do that either through S&B or if they can point us in the direction of somebody that makes sense.
So remember that depreciation is in there as a reduction,
But it's not actually.
but it's not actually spent, so we're taking 278 out of savings and we're putting back 250.
You know, that's the problem.
If everything balanced.
Right.
We won't really even know that. We really don't, that's just right now, just an arbitrary number.
Well, and it's a low number probably because we don't have an inventory or an asset
That's why I'm.
statement of, we don't have a balance sheet that shows the actual true amount of our structures.
But we do have that sheet, but we don't have it. Is that correct?
That's been MIA
Don't
for a
have
number of
anything
years.
at all.
I think it's been gone since before you.
Mm.
But in
Yeah, the capital
Is that
asset
what we
list.
talked to Tim about?
Those are the missing
Yes.
records from
Yep.
another area gone
Yep.
But I
by.
thought we
Yeah.
were working on that and bringing that up to date.
So
They
we
never
don't,
could-
we don't have any information on that. It was from a previous auditing.
Right.
The previous
Company.
auditing firm.
Right, and we don't have it, so, and I've talked to Tim about that, so we've reached out and we're trying to get somebody to basically reinitiate that and get us something, so we have something to go off. 'cause we
Which
don't have-
apparently we don't even have the total cost of what we put in the ground that it cost the township. We don't have records that show that.
Right.
Cause that would be the number. That would be the starting number, of depreciation over the years.
Remember that former auditing firm, Norm, prior?
Yeah.
They wouldn't give us any information.
That just
Hmm.
amazes me.
Well,
I'm surprised
part
we
that
can't.
amazes me that we don't have it.
I'm surprised. we
Exactly.
Well,
can't-
right, you would think, right, even if that auditing firm didn't have it, you'd think
They had to get it
somebody,
from us, so.
you would think somebody here, maybe it's still in Abby's office in an old dusty
You're
drawer.
welcome to come in at any time,
Any-
and go through any folder in those filing cabinets, and
But seriously,
Do we
there's
have any-
old stuff in
Do we
there.
keep any off premises records anywhere?
Yeah, they're in the office or in the wall.
Well, they're probably in the back, up
there's,
on
yeah,
the
there's
top of the.
boxes full of stuff back there,
You
but.
should see the boxes. back
Oh,
there.
yeah.
But everything we have scanned into our computer is stored off site too.
But once
It's
they were
backed up
shredded,
someplace
Oh,
else.
right, with, through 1010.
Through 1010.
I'm surprised that we can't compel that,
we
that
could legally, if we
firm.
wanted, you could file
Yeah.
a suit, mandamus, yeah.
Yeah,
So when I asked him, I mean, I did talk to him about this last week, and he said that they've tried.
Oh, big time, they
Yeah,
tried to
they've
get
tried
the,
and tried and tried for several years and nothing.
I
Their
think
computer
our,
records don't go back that far. They can't hire anybody smart enough to look at the paper records.
I would think it's in this building somewhere, hidden in some old dusty box or drawer somewhere,
In this
if there is
building?
anything,
In this building or another.
this building somewhere. Probably way.
That
further.
sounds
If
like
you have
another
spare
work,
time, just let me know you're coming in.
We've always
Got
talked about
everybody at
going
table.
through all them boxes
Oh,
back there.
put a box in front of each one of us.
yeah,
We'll
we
be here
gotta
for-
have to know what we're looking for.
You never know what you might find.
Yeah, that's the scary
At least some
part.
dead
Well,
ones.
anyway, I guess we've kicked this can about as far down the road as we can right now.
Can we make any motions here?
To adjourn.
That's what I wanted
This
to.
is the second, is everybody good? We're good?
Yeah.
That's good. This will be the second opportunity for public comment. Seeing nobody online, if there's anybody in person who has public comment, how is your opportunity?
No.
Seeing none. Any further discussion? Any questions, comments, concerns?
I'll make a motion, we adjourn.
Or
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Oppose the same. Motion carried.
Did you guys look at the
Meeting
agenda
adjourned
to
at
see if there was some
1:36.